Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Happy New Year to everybody. It's
Happy New
2021.
Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year.
Is it 2021 yet? Because this bitch still feel it's giving off 2020 vibes already, baby. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. I
Hello?
can hear y'all. Now. Say something else. We had a little.
Yeah, I
Hey,
say
Paul.
I say
They
is
trying
it
to rain on our
2020?
parade, huh?
Huh?
They trying to rain on our parade, messing up with our internet, huh?
Oh no. No, I was asking is it 2021 yet? Because it's still feeling extra 2020ish.
Yeah,
2020 June. That's all it says.
like them dudes that fell asleep, huh? And they gotta be in 12.5,
8.5.
8.5.
They
Say, Brad,
ninth grade,
happy
but
New
they got
Year.
to take class they failed last year.
Huh?
Happy, happy New Year to everybody that's out on our viewers. Man, we back. This year gonna be a big year for crucial conflict. Man, we not gonna talk about ban today, man. We talking about some real issues in the city of New Orleans and in this country. So I would advise you to right now to please share this because some things you may like what we say, some things you may not like what we say. Uh, we gonna come from the way we feel, how we feel about these issues. Uh, and we're gonna give y'all our pointers how we feel about this stuff, man, because it's a lot of issues that's going on in this country.
What's going on, Mr. C? We may not agree with each other, what we're going to say today, but just so everybody know, it's coming from a place of love, and everything we say today needs to be said. So that's just basically the wave I'm on. You know what I'm saying? We don't have too many of these shows, but the state of the world in some of our inner cities, especially where I live right here in my city, I mean, it's bad. Like, just to say the least, it's bad.
And on this show, we don't duck no topics.
Hey, that's good, Dolan. So me and Dolan got our boxing match that's gonna happen mid 2021. It's cool you don't have to speak to me. That just add fuel to the fire. But shout, hey, bro, shout out, shout out to Darrell, man.
Shout out
Darrell,
our brother Darrell. He couldn't be here with us tonight. My brother fighting the COVID right now, so make sure y'all keep him lifted up.
make sure y'all keep him lifted up in prayer.
Most def. Hey, Darrell, you can't be here tonight, man. Nigga, love you, man. I miss you a lot. We hate when one of the brothers can't be here.
I know, huh?
So another thing is, man, uh, we be sharing. Look, some of y'all got y'all shows, man. We be sharing y'all show on our page. So look, make sure y'all share our show on y'all page, man. Another thing is, man, to one of some of the things that we talked about is expanding our show, man. We gonna try to get this show on and popping, on and popping. So share it. That's all we asking you to do. Share it. Go like our page. Go like it.
Everybody that's on here right now, make sure y'all share this. Make it public when y'all share. You know what I'm saying? Make it public.
Make it public. So shout out to all these kids that's in school right now that's trying to do the right thing. But we have to talk about some of these other issues with some of these kids. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to talk about what's going on in the capital first? Y'all want to talk about what's going on in the city of New Orleans? So,
Um,
We can
let
talk
me
about
let
the
me let me.
capital first because what's going on right
Uh,
now in New Orleans is near me, and I really want to be them sentiments to be felt just as much as they heard because we all basically share the same sentiments when it comes to the capital. So we can talk about that first.
the capital.
Unless you
okay.
Tennille, unless you Tennille.
And are we invite people on the show tonight? I can't. Are we invite people on the show tonight?
Well, let's see if we start talking whether they even want to come on, because it might get a little sticky.
Yeah. Shout out Javon Puller. I see you on here, man. Good. Thank you for the support, man. Y'all had a good show last night. Also. So as you all know, we've been seeing all these things that have been going on in Washington D.C. Um, the Trump supporters have been doing anything. Uh, Matt, why don't you elaborate on what your views and your thoughts is on what you have been seeing?
Okay. Let me just apologize for always looking down when the show first start. I'm always
You
trying
be
to share
sharing
like,
like me. You be sharing,
yeah,
man.
but I'm an old man and they probably shouldn't have me um doing nothing by myself, no way.
Say,
But at any rate,
yeah, can I say something right before you start?
please,
Look,
please
another
do.
thing is look as our viewers. Uh, I'm just gonna tell you like this. We about to come at these issues, and we not holding back on we not no go along people. Let me just say that. So you about to hear some real stuff, these individuals. So just make sure if you don't agree, that's cool. Put your point in the comments. If we feel like if your comment is like good enough, we gonna let you come on the show and you have an argument. So let's go, Matt.
Um, okay. Dang, I'm looking for the. I like to follow along on the show. On my other phone. Hold on. Dang, why I can't find it? What's call? Because I want to be able to engage people while I'm talking. Because I know
Is it me,
these
Matt?
tend to get. Hold on, give me 1 second, and I'm right with y'all. Here we go.
My Matt.
So I'm on there now. Oh, you ready, Burger? Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say my little piece. I never felt like whatever happened yesterday at the Capitol. I felt like that was normal America. Like that's normal every day in like white America. Like that's what they do. Like they have what happened yesterday is what they have done since the beginning of mankind. Like basically, that's what they do. Like that yesterday shouldn't have surprised no black person. If you're a black person and have been around long enough, that most definitely shouldn't have been a shocker. The shocking part to most black people, and I'm pretty sure everybody would agree with me, the most shocking part to us was the lack of police and army and tear gas. We was just looking for them to get their ass whooped. Like all of us watching because we was like, man, we waiting on these fools to get their ass whooped. We waiting on the army to roll down the street, and it was like, dudes posting up in Nancy Pelosi office taking selfies. And we was just like, you know what I'm saying? We just know if that would have been 10 black men, just give me 10 black men to try that, they'd have killed all 10 of them black men. We wouldn't have made it to the step. And then come to find out, like they let them in. Like, they literally let some of them in. They was taking selfies with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not surprised. That's America for you, dude. It's just the fact that it's 2020 going to 2021 and a lot of people seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it wasn't no TV, it wasn't no social media. Now it's out in the open. Racism never stopped. Like people try to make it like racism is something it never stopped. It will never stop. It just now we seeing it on TV. We never saw racism on TV. Even at the door. Maybe all right. Close my door, please, and get out. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I agree with that, Burger.
I totally agree with you too. Because like nothing don't shock me no more. Like this stuff don't shock me that we act like we don't have white racist people in America. Like you know what I'm saying? Like these people really racist. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it for years. You know what I'm saying? Like
Can I say something to you? I don't believe that was racism yesterday. That was entitlement. That was white people entitlement. This was they backed Blue Lives Matter all summer, all year, right? And the one time they did what they wanted to do, bro. That was just straight up entitlement. Nothing racist about that. That was straight up entitlement. And just white people showed you we could do what we want. Bro, these people broke in a government building and was sitting in Nancy Pelosi's office, like taking pictures. Like these people didn't care. Like they were literally just chilling. Like that's a normal day for them. But guess what? What's really the scary part to me? That was police officers, that was doctors, that was teachers, that was normal citizens. Like those are the people. That's the scary part for me. That it was police officers in that crowd. Then you finding out half of these people not even from there. Like they not even from DC. They came away from one of them came away from Nashville. A lady lost her life yesterday. Served the country, died, went to war and died. in the name of Donald Trump. And for people to support that, for me, morally, and I've been saying it from the beginning, morally, if you can support Donald Trump, morally, I think something is wrong with you. Where's the morals in this country? Where are the morals and human decency? If you can support that, nowhere in hell a group of black people would have been. We wouldn't have made it we wouldn't have made it on the bus. They'd have blew our bus up on the way there. They said we was pointing guns out the window. For this man he been saying it since last month that January 6th was gonna be something crazy. He been saying it. Y'all think that's bad? Inauguration coming. Then you got Iran. Like, we so distracted yesterday. Man, Iran literally said that they coming for us because they want Trump that bad. And people don't take shit like that serious. I feel like all of it be a cover up. Something sinister and something bigger coming. Something way bigger coming. Iran, all of a sudden, now they know Trump about to lose. They issuing warrants for his arrest. Like, I don't even take Tanel serious no more.
Okay, check this out. Let's not be distracted by that shit. Okay, let me say something before I say what I'm about to say. I say this as my own personal entity. I'm not saying this representing Johnny and Berger, Darrell in his absence, or no other member of Crucial Conflict. But what I'm saying is how I feel personally. Let me try to catch what Berger said just now. Dude, Iran don't want no smoke with us. Y'all stop. Like, y'all, when you learn more about our military, you'll understand that ain't nobody trying to see us in the war. So let's not wait. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Those people are desperate, and when they are desperate,
Berger, let me finish. Berger, let me finish, and you could. I was quiet while y'all talk, so give me 1 second. Yeah. They you can be desperate as you want. It's just an impossibility. When you understand that the United States Army had the United States Air Force has the biggest Air Force in the world, and then the second biggest Air Force in the world is the United States Army, and then the third biggest Air Force in the world is the United States. I think it's the United States Navy. You understand that ain't nobody trying to see us. So threats is one thing, but actually being able to follow through is another. Ain't nobody trying to see the United States. So a lot of that is posture and a lot of that is talk. But when it comes down to, they know we'll come sit in your country for 20 years and just take your shit and make you start using our money and everything else. So yeah, that's not a real thing with people being ready to. It's good posturing, but it ain't real. But let me say this. We this country has made people that look like me feel like the outsider for decades. We've been tolerated and not accepted for years. So understand this. I looked at yesterday and I tripped out. I did look at it like the rest of y'all and be like, man, that's not. People just be talking. China does not have the biggest army. Why? Yeah. Anyway, I don't respond to stuff like that. Go do some research, Cheetah Pot. I don't respond to stuff that can be researched with a simple Google search. I typically go back and forth about that. But at any rate, this country has gone out of its way to make us feel like outsiders. And so when I saw it, I saw a bunch of people that don't look like me fighting with people that don't look like me. I feel no emotional attachment to any of that stuff that happened. I looked at it and I was like, well, look at them tearing up their shit. When you invite me to be a part of and I don't feel tolerated, when you make me feel like I'm a part of a thing, I typically get more involved and my heart is more in it. Other than that, I got more pressing issues than that building. Let me tell you something. All of that shit was originally built by slaves. The flag being desecrated people that look like me was enslaved under that same fucking flag. I mean, I'm an American. I wouldn't want to live nowhere else. But before I could feel a sense of pride, like a lot of y'all obviously do, check this shit out. Uh, 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 I gotta be allowed to feel like I gotta be made to feel like I'm a part of this shit. When I saw that, I didn't feel nothing. When I saw them animals, when I saw them animals rush the Capitol, when I saw them animals rush the Capitol, I saw animals rushing on another bunch of fucking animals. I feel like all of them is animals. I feel like when people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year sit up and make decisions about people that look like me not being able to over 14 fucking $100, right? When they sit up there and say that y'all can get $600, but y'all can't get $2,000. When people that make that fucking much money decide that we not worth nothing. When people that make that much money, man, listen, them people that got rushed in, them old evil people in that Capitol building, that posture, and they say and do all and have for so long, the Congress, the Senate, the Nancy Pelosi, all of these people that have never did, and I didn't give a damn about none of them. I don't care about any of them. People that fuss and fight for dumb stuff, and they know people like me in the hood starving to death. These same people, Maxine Waters and all of them, was around when I was in school. When we never had new books when I was in school. They could have changed that. These are fucking congressmen and senators and all kind of shit. These same people stood by while this a band show, while music programs was fucking shut down and disassembled, and funding was cut. Yeah, them people that y'all defending, and this show is terrible what happened. Man, them people don't give a fuck about people that look like me. So you gotta please y'all, people on the show and the viewers of this show that feel such a sense of pride and so much hurt that this shit has happened, and y'all so outraged. Please pardon the shit out of me if I don't feel none of that. I looked in amusement. But I got bigger fish to fry in my own hood. You dig? I want stuff like that shows me that we got to look out for our own people. We got to be our own welfare system. We got to be our own scholarship fund. We got to be our own tutoring program. We got to be our own everything. We got to start being our own justice system. Black men, we got to start patrolling our own neighborhoods. We ain't got no help from law enforcement. We ain't got no kind of help from the government, from the city, from the state. Yeah. So when I looked at it again, I just sit and I be amused. All of that shit is a joke to me. It's all a joke to me. But until they make me feel like an insider, then the hell with it. So God bless y'all and all of y'all righteous indignation all of a sudden. But I don't give a damn about it. That's on them. So
I agree with everything you said, but the part about China, our military being bigger than China. Well, the reason why China's military will always be bigger than ours, same as North Korea, why they have no jobs. Like, we can work normal jobs to feed our family. In China, it's either join the military or your family starves. So, you know what I'm saying? It's give and take with China. The reason why their military has so many troops and they got 1 billion people in their country, little to no jobs. So
I understand that. Do you think listen, before y'all start talking, please just go research. I'm not here to research none of that. The United States got the biggest, most powerful military in the world. Just go research it.
We argue two different things. They have the bigger army, is what I'm saying. We have we spend the most money on ours, and we have the most technology.
Okay, name the country that you think is ready to go to war with us. Let's cut the semantics. Name one.
Listen, any country could go to war with us. It's a matter of will they win or not. That's the thing that we both.
Okay, name the one that you think could come kick our ass. Name that one.
China, for one reason. The only reason why I would give China a dub over us is because basically they got us right now. We owe them trillions of dollars. We in
Say,
that way.
bro, Burger, listen, man, I can't argue this one with you, bro. Just go, you got people that
It's
served in the
not a
military
it's
in this
not an
post.
argument.
Go do your
Listen,
research,
big
brother.
bro, it's not an argument for me. It's merely I wouldn't want a war with China right now because there's a lot of black men gonna die when it's not our war.
Oh, we're
Go
not
ahead.
talking black Burger. You changing the argument. I said, what army do you think can beat us? And you just said that you think China can beat China or North
Basically,
Korea.
listen. If we lose a few 100,000 troops, that's a loss for us. We can't afford that loss.
Boy, they go.
So you think it's a country that can come kill a few hundred Burger? I can't argue that with you, brother. Just go research it. I'm not. I mean, listen. Look at the comments with all of them people that served in the military. That's not a real thing, man. Don't believe what
Listen,
the media feeds
I
you,
am
brother.
very well versed on the military and how powerful our military is. It's a lose-lose situation for both armies, is what I'm
You
basically
changing
getting
the
at.
argument. You said that
It's
we
not.
couldn't.
It's what I'm
You
saying
are.
is
You said in the
the
beginning
army
that they
I
couldn't.
don't want to go to war with right now is China, and it's not because I'm scared of nothing. I don't want to go to war with China right now because at the end of the day, I'm people might think I'm crazy. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I feel like China has something to do with coronavirus and all these people dying. I felt like it was an experiment with a new form of chemical
Burger,
warfare.
when you say war, do you feel like we gonna stand on the ground and fight with some people? I'm just
Listen,
curious,
listen, we couldn't even handle as Vietnam. They kicked our
Bro,
ass. And
bro.
no,
Do you know what year this is, Burger? I can't do that one with you, man. Just go research it before we. Let's have another show after you go research it.
everything I've ever said to you,
look,
we
You
both
didn't.
Burger. In 1945, when people dropped a bomb on Pearl Harbor. You think they don't have nothing now in 2020?
That's not what I'm saying. That's why this conversation needs to be heard and listened to, not like because I'm agreeing with you, but I'm also saying it's not to take China light because literally everything
Listen, Burger. Before you talk, Corey Lewis is a major in the army. Can you please put up his comment, Robin? Can you do that? He. This ain't my opinion, brother. This is a fact. Like if I don't want to go too deep into this because I can just I can send Robin some stuff and just disprove everything you're saying right now with facts. But let me say this:
you can't
ain't
disprove nothing I said because everything I gave you was facts. China has the bigger military.
Hey,
That is fact.
let's stay on the topic, man. Let's get
China does have the.
We see this is how we get sidetracked. This is we talking about.
No, because
Okay.
I agree with him as far as us having the best, most powerful army. But my point is
not army, military. We saying two
military, yes.
different things.
Military.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. We misunderstanding each other. China is a power by themselves also. Like, let's not get it twisted. The thing I feel is neither wants to fight each other because the amount of casualties will be low on both sides. I don't think we want to fight each other. We're not scared of them, and I know they know that. But neither are they scared of us. Don't get it twisted. Like dudes will say, "Oh, they don't want to fight us neither." That's most definitely a war that neither side wants or need.
Okay, let's talk about that another day. Because what I was about to start doing was just start sending Robin the facts. But let's just talk about that another day.
Yeah,
We can have a show. We can have a show about the military, and then we're gonna both present our facts, and we're gonna see what we come up with.
Hey, good debate though, y'all fellas, man. But Matt, back to the subject we were talking about the Capitol. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of feel like you, Matt. Like I looked at that, I said, "Man, what's going on?" I said, "These motherfuckers crazy," and I started playing on myself. Because if they let them, whatever they go do, they go fucking do. That shit ain't affecting me. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
In a way, it does. In a way, it does.
How does it affect you? Because I asked my mom. Me and my mom had a debate about this. How does it affect you, bro?
It doesn't affect you as far as what happened, but it affects you in the sense of we've seen black people die for far less worse, and we literally watched white people storm the Capitol building, and not as far as a scratch happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not so much as it affects you, but it makes you say, damn, as a black person watching that, it's not a black person that watched that and didn't think, damn, ain't nothing happening to these motherfuckers. They literally in here storming a government building and nothing
But
has happened.
but Burger, I don't understand how this is affecting you. You saying this affecting your life? That's them fighting them.
No. See, I ain't say it was affecting my life. I'm saying
Everybody can see the irony in it, but I'm saying I felt nothing when I saw that. I didn't even, man, listen, I want to be very clear one more time. I didn't feel nothing about none of them congressmen or none of them. If any of them would have got hurt, man, I wouldn't have cared. They don't care nothing about me and my family. They get up in there and make decisions that's adverse to the well-being of my family all the time. I feel what you say about we'd have been mowed down if we'd have went up in there. But I didn't care nothing about them people that was going up in there, and I for damn sure didn't care nothing about the people being in there not safe, because they routinely put people like me in situations that ain't safe. From the food they put in our neighborhoods to, boy, don't get me started. I didn't feel nothing when I saw none of that shit.
I didn't feel nothing behind none of that, bro. Like, I'm being real, like, and that's the
nobody felt nothing as far as an emotional state.
Burger, this is the thing. Me and my mom had a debate because she kept on telling me, I'm like, "Ma, that don't affect me. That don't really affect me. Like, them being stupid, that don't affect me."
Man, listen to me. You know how many black people in Congress that actually
wait. You know Robin, save Clarence Smith comment for me. I won't respond to that. Say what you're saying, Burger, but I want to respond to Clarence Smith comment.
I was saying, like, I kind of agree with what he was saying. It's a lot of black people in Congress that actually do care for us, and it's so sad that you actually believe some of them don't.
Okay, where are these black people that's presenting legislation that's going to do anything for me? Who are these? When you say it's a lot of us in there, who are you talking about? No, Burger, let me answer my question. When you say it's a lot of us up in there, are you talking about us like black people with black faces, or people that give a damn about us?
I'm talking about black people who look like us, who give a damn about us. John Lewis is in, dude, the man died and they still gave zero fucks about him. The man died fighting for the same shit Martin Luther King fought and died for, and all these other countless blacks. But we are realizing now that we've been knowing it's their world. We just live in it. They allow us to live in it.
Jared just said
this is their world. They allow us to live in it.
Oh, Jared comment. Jared just said that the probably too many blacks don't understand this their country. This is their country.
Most definitely is their country. So basically, like I say, what I'm saying is, and I've always said this, and people think I'm crazy. Black people need to break away from the Republican and the Democrat Party. We need our own party ran by us, for us, with agendas in mind for us. And until the day that happens, we're going to always be forced to pick a side. It's not a black person on here who would tell you that they think Joe Biden is the greatest man alive. But it was just time for Donald Trump and his rhetoric to go. It was time for him to go.
I want to comment on T. Brown. You think Cedric Richmond is a sellout? I don't think Cedric Richmond is a sellout. If one dude I knew for sure that's in the trenches fighting for blacks, it's Cedric Richmond.
Maxine Waters is too. They can say what they want.
You know what I'm saying?
They talk stuff about that lady, but she love black people.
I think sometimes black people expect black people to get in politics and just to all of a sudden change the whole black culture. And if it's not done for them, then it's a problem.
No. See, when you say, okay, I can say I love black people, and then what I can sit here and do is I can tell you with the authority and the power I have about 10 things. The week is still young, in my opinion, about 10 things that I have done for black people.
Hold on.
Okay.
Matt, hold on, Matt. T. Brown, you saying that you say all them people are sellouts. So everybody that's in the Capitol, all the Democrats, all them black people so John Lewis was a sellout? That's what you basically said?
John Lewis was a sellout?
Let me ask this. Wow. What has Maxine Waters specifically did for black people?
What has any politician
you said she loved black people. Don't give me no questions. I'm asking you a straight up question. Don't beat around the bush because I'm going to call you on it. I'm asking you specifically, what has Maxine Waters did for black people?
What you mean, what has Maxine Waters did for black people?
I can tell you what I've done for black people this week. I'm asking you, what specifically has Maxine Waters done? Now, she's been there for a long time.
Oh, y'all really feel like that about Cedric Richmond?
They crazy.
Bro.
Because there's a lot of emotion. It's
I'm not being emotional. Don't tell me I'm being emotional and I'm asking you a straight up question, Burger. You said something, so I'm asking you to prove it.
A question that you know the answer to in depth. If I give you the straight up answer, it's gonna be like nothing. But we know that Maxine Waters has tried for years and years. John Lewis has tried for years and years. Like
what legislation? Okay, your legislation ain't got to go through, Burger. I'm asking you, what legislation did she present? You keep telling me she did a lot. I'm asking you, what legislation did she present that would have helped little dudes in the hood like me?
Wow. This is getting interesting, bro. Listen, like
listen, I don't like, don't tell if you Burger, I can let me tell you why I know you love me. Because I know you mean I can tell you stuff you done did for me. That's how I know you love me. Love is an action word. You say they love. I can say Burger love me. Johnny love me because I can tell you specific things that brother done did, and he showed an act of love to me specifically. Now I am asking you, what legislation has Maxine Waters presented, or any of them that did she present? Because you said she loved people that look like me, that would have helped people that look like me.
I believe if given the opportunity, we all can sit on this show and know, I don't have to say this. Everybody on here know that no legislation just for black people will ever pass in this country. Any bill that they write up that's not going to lock us up in jail that specifically targets black people. But if they try to write up a bill that says we want,
boy, you setting the bar low. Long as it don't get us locked up, huh?
No, you're not
Burger, listen.
I said the only bills that will pass in this country are ones that will get our ass locked up. That's the only bills that they will pass. They will not pass legislation that helps Black America. And me and you both know that.
I am asking you. I'm telling you, Maxine Waters been in office longer than I've been living. I'm not asking you for what she got through, Burger. What I'm asking you is, what legislation has she so much as presented that got knocked down? That's what I'm asking you for. This ain't a hard question. I'm asking you, what has she, all of these black people that's in office that you tell me because they're Democrats or because they progressive Republicans or whatever they might be, when you tell me I need to subscribe to what anything any of them is saying, I'm asking you specifically what they did for black people. Let's listen. Let me open it up a little bit. Obama too. Tell me what they did for black people.
Let me say this. A politician can't do it by themselves. One politician can't change nothing. So I'm not gonna never say that they didn't come in and try to change stuff. But
listen, I'm doing something right. I just had somebody tell me earlier this morning I'm a Democrat. I got Earl Miyagi telling me I argue like a Republican. So I'm doing it right. I got some behavior on both sides. I love it.
Hey, I want T Brown and I want Justin Patterson and Jared Powell to come on. Click the link is in the comments. T Brown, I really would love for you to come on. Justin Patterson, the link is in the comment, and Jared Powell. But bro, I just feel as though they, like, for you to say Cedric Richmond and sellout, I definitely don't agree with that one. I definitely don't agree with that one.
It's basically the black politicians, the ones who actually do get a bad rap because the white folks will not allow, like I said, black politicians to pass black legislation just for black people. And everybody that's in these comments that's acting like they don't understand what I'm saying, and they know damn well when we just saw Cedric Richmond go viral from going off on them for wanting to pass legislation for black people being gunned down, like they passed the Breonna Taylor law in Kentucky so fast, but they didn't arrest the police officers. So every time they give us something, they push us step forward a step and knock us back 10. If you gave Breonna Taylor a law, but you refuse to arrest the police officers, you charge them with bullets.
Wayne Christoph just said Maxine Waters passed a bill to help homelessness. Bruh, the biggest beneficiaries of the social services are not people that look like me, Wayne. Now listen, when I ask stuff, I typically know the answer to my question. When those bill any legislation that was presented for the homeless or for welfare, contrary to which you heard, people that any of the social services, nobody that looks like me is the biggest beneficiary of it. Not affirmative action, not any of that stuff. Okay.
I think that
So Wayne, I want you to go try again, brother.
I think that if that's the case, and a lot of people might not like what I say, every black person is sellout. And what you saying, man, what you saying, bro, if that's the case, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher that teaches African American kids. I try my hardest to teach, to make sure that kids are on the right path. I'm not making all the changes that I necessarily want. I'm changing some things, but not all the changes that I need. And I feel as though that these politicians like Cedric Richmond, he can't change that shit by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they bring stuff to the legislator and all that stuff, but they can't change it by themselves.
It's not about that. They won't allow. Listen, the whole United States government, every amendment that was wrote in this country, every declaration, all that shit was written when black people wasn't even considered human beings. So in order for us to even matter to them, you have to go back and erase all that, which they won't do. When the declaration,
You can't present legislation to do it. Berger, you're speaking very vaguely. They and them. Listen. When those nothing against gay people, but I'm just stating the fact. When those gay people got gunned down when those gay people got gunned down in Florida at that nightclub in Miami. It was Miami. Okay, I thought it was Orlando, but perhaps it was.
It might be.
I know. Let's just say it was Florida.
It was both of them.
Yeah, when those gay people, legislation got presented the next. Now check this out, Berger. That was a Friday. That Saturday morning, legislation was presented. To help out the gays. Obama did a lot for gays when he was in office. Obama did a lot for Hispanics when he was in office. Obama did a lot for, I'm talking about legislation that they got in and got it passed. Obama did a lot for Muslims when he was in office. I'm asking what legislation was presented specifically for people that look like me other than the Black Farmers Act.
Well, listen, let me answer your question.
For people that look like me.
This answer will probably piss a lot of people off. But when it comes down to politics as a whole, those gays and those Mexicans, they put their money where their mouth is. I'm not being funny. A lot of black people, we not doing that. I'm keeping.
Okay, well then, Robin, I see your comment. I don't feel like there's been any criminal justice reform. I don't feel like the justice system has been reformed at all. But let me say this: Giovanni, my crab brother, Berger, you keep saying healthcare wasn't specifically for that. The Affordable Care Act wasn't specifically for black people.
We most definitely benefited more.
It wasn't specifically. No, that's not. Damn, man, y'all just be saying none of this can be substantiated with facts. That's your opinion. Just like people say the biggest beneficiaries of the social services is us. That's just not true. The biggest beneficiaries of affirmative. Well, you saying that we'd have been the biggest beneficiaries of the Affordable Care Act? No, it's not.
More black people had health care when Obamacare was passed than at any other period in this country. Do you not agree with that?
Wait, what you said?
More black people had affordable health care than any other time in this country when Obamacare was passed. It's a fact because I was one of the people who benefited it. I never had health care in my life until Obama passed the Obamacare Act. I never had.
Berger, you saying two different things. I'm saying we were not the biggest beneficiaries of it. I'm asking what legislation has been presented just for people that look like me?
Man, it's a lot that it's not gonna get passed.
Why y'all can't name it? I'm asking you. Y'all keep saying it's a lot. What is the lot?
Let me give you one specifically.
Robin is
saying they tried to get us $2,000 for the working people, and rich white people who've been in office since the 60s and the 50s said we're not giving them nothing. We all know that money, $2,000, could have made a difference in every black household in this whole entire country. But guess what they say? We're not giving them
So
2,000. We're gonna give them 600. Rich white people who are already rich. Besides
Burger.
that
So you
600,
saying that we would have been the biggest beneficiaries of the $2,000?
Hey, hold
most
on.
definitely, them white folks straight. Most of them, they straight.
Hey, so
Burger, you saying that ain't no Burger. So you saying that ain't no white people that make less than $99,000
That's
a
not
year?
what I'm saying.
hold
I
on,
don't
hold on.
care
Well, how would we have been the biggest beneficiaries of? You think they had you in mind
Isn't
when
it
they
more
made?
rich white people in this country than rich black people?
We not.
Right or
There are
wrong?
more. There are few rich everything. I'm talking about regular
I'm asking
everyday.
you to answer my specific question. Isn't it more rich white people in this country
definitely.
than rich black people?
Yes.
Okay, then. So black people needed that damn money.
Okay. Well, is it more poor white people than poor black people?
A lot of poor black people, but they all vote Republican, so they don't count
Listen,
in this
is it
conversation.
more poor white people than poor black people?
It's a lot more poor white people than black people, but they all
So then,
vote
who would have been the
Republican.
biggest beneficiary of the money?
Black people, because the poor white folks.
Oh my God, Burger! Math doesn't bear out what you're saying.
They vote
Math doesn't
Republican.
bear out what you're saying.
The white people still vote Republican.
I understand what you're saying, but the math doesn't bear out. You saying black people would have been the biggest beneficiaries of the $2,000.
You know,
I'm saying
that don't make sense. They tell us black people only make up 13% of the population. Me and you know that's a goddamn lie.
See,
So
bro,
numbers are always messed up. We know this.
we got a special guest on here.
what you got, brother?
We have brother Justin Smash Time Patterson.
Hey, Robin, can you send Corey G. Lewis the link as well?
What's up?
What up, fellas? What up?
Listen,
fellas?
Tom Brady got almost $1 million loan when they gave out the 1,200 the first time. This
You talking about one dude. I'm talking about
rich
the map.
white man under Trump.
Let the guest speak.
That's the one that I know of. That's the one that we know about. They gave you 1,200, but the rich white corporations got millions.
I didn't get nothing.
I
ain't get nothing.
I ain't get shit.
I ain't get a penny.
I ain't getting no 1,200 neither.
I
ain't getting the 600.
That's
what I checked the IRS website today. I ain't even getting the 600, and I know damn well I could have used $600.
I ain't getting no taxes from that shit. Go ahead, Mr. Smash.
Told me I gotta get the 600 online when I file my income tax.
Look.
So guess what? You know how many black people not gonna receive this 600 that they was literally already accounted for that can really use it?
Burger is all right. Like Burger, come on, you got what else you got to say?
He good. But anyway, I just want to get on here and say a few things. Matt, first of all, Matt, I hope you do have that military talk because I definitely want to join that one. Because I agree with a lot of both y'all was saying. I just feel like both y'all was getting each other confused because Burger has.
Yeah, that's what it was. Well. I figured that's what it was.
Yeah. But let's go back to the whole thing from the jump. So I agree with everything you were saying, Matt, about it has nothing to do with you, and it was great. We was mostly just sitting back saying that, like, damn, what a police at, what a military at. But I just wanted to touch on the fact about y'all saying it doesn't have anything to do with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Or it wouldn't affect y'all. Because Johnny said, like he said, he had a debate with his mama. I was a history teacher for 6 years, right? So I stressed to my kids about the New Jersey plan, the 3/5 compromise, the Virginia plan, which all made up the Great Compromise, which made up the Electoral College, right? I just feel as though like it still will have an effect. Even though it don't affect you directly, it's gonna affect your kids or your family members somewhere down the line. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we sit back and we let them fight about, you know what I'm saying, that was privilege. Like one of y'all said, only thing that was is just the privilege. A lot of the comments that we kept saying, hearing them says, this is our country. Well, shit is our country too. You know what I'm saying? We built this damn country. You know what I'm saying? So we always throw the fit about we don't belong in this country, but shit, you know what I'm saying? It was built on the backside with ancestors. We have just as much right to them as them. Nevertheless, I just think we got to get out. We got to,
How would the events yesterday affect? How does that affect my children? Like, I just don't understand.
What rights do you have? Wait, you say you have the right to it. I'm not talking about in theory. What actual right do you say you have the right to? What do you have the right? What can you go down there and claim right now and get right now when you say you have the right to it?
Man, you always do that.
I have a right to my goddamn money they owe us.
Opinion of the country.
If you have the right to the money, go take it.
I didn't say I was going to take it.
You say you got the right to it. I got the right to the money that's in my account. I can go take it now.
I know
because it's already your money and nobody's holding it from you.
Turn your mic up. Turn your mic up, Justin. Turn your mic up.
It's up. You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you better.
That's better. But Johnny, that's what I'm not saying, Matt. I'm not saying the rights or whatever they doing down there. I'm saying the effects of what happened yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, for example, the whole purpose of them going down there yesterday was to pause what was happening about them counting the votes and getting him in office. Let's say, for instance, some bullshit would have fucking happened, and then we had to do another fucking runoff election. You know what I'm saying? Which we knew he won by right. And then you notice what the motherfucker was saying all day today. The only reason why they're giving up is because of what happened yesterday. So even I forget the dude name on that bitch, but he was saying like
if they would have paused it, tell me how specifically that would have affected you.
The effects, not yesterday, the effects of it.
Tell me how it affected. Tell me how it would affect. Tell me how that changed life in your house. That's what I'm asking.
How the effects of it would have changed life in the house? I'm not saying like me directly. I'm saying listen, because you keep grabbing a point and trying to grab it and just twist it. You always do that with Burger. Hear me out. Okay, so listen. Yeah, because you always do that shit. Nobody get on your ass about it. But you always find the first thing that you think you'll do it, you add some aggression to it, and people be like, "Yeah, go, Matt. Fuck me. You are in fucking. You should run for a political office. That's what you fucking should do."
Because that's a big point. That's a big point. You said that affected your house.
No,
that's gonna affect generations to come.
Okay.
Tell me how it's affecting you.
I'm talking about the Democratic Party and everything what's going on with it. Now,
hey, look,
so we gotta let the guests talk. My bad.
Let Jared speak.
Huh?
Let Jared say something.
Burger. You remember when you said about starting your own party? Remember you said about it ain't shit gonna change until we start our own party, and a lot of the fucking reason why they want our fucking voters this we only vote, a lot of us only vote Democratic.
We just decided two of the biggest elections in the country. Two of them.
Exactly. Georgia turning blue. You don't think that's that's gonna have an effect on everybody living in the state of Georgia?
And what are we gonna get for our vote?
Time
what is a Democratic?
Time
could have been told. Time could have been told. When Obama first got in office from 2008 to 2010, Obama had the Congress and the Senate. All of them was Democratic. What the fuck did they do for us? That's what I'm asking.
There was Mutombo in that shit.
Obama a while back. I remember somebody had said, "What did Obama do for black people a while back?" You was the main one helping us for Obama. You was man, on one of them shows. You was the main one.
Man, give me if
hold up, man.
I've been saying this from the beginning.
Matt, Jared.
Go ahead, Jared.
I'm trying to let y'all get it all out. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Everybody mute their phone while you talk. And then we gotta let Brother Corey get on because he said he needed 5 minutes after this. Okay. So when Jared get through, let Brother Corey come in. And I'm about to mute my shit.
I just wanted to get in on what we was talking about the black politicians in DC right now. Burger, you made some good points, and as well as what Matt was saying. My thing about it is something that we all don't recognize. When these black people get in DC, they talk a good game before they get there. They tell us why we need to vote for them. Then we vote for them. They get up there in DC. Now we like, yeah, we got Cedric Richmond up there. But when they get up there, there's a chain of command. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and all those other old white people that been there since the 60s and 70s don't give a fuck about blacks. They don't have no agenda for us. So I didn't see it before. I remember Maxine Waters. This had to be like 2 or 3 years ago. Maxine Waters had the balls to get up.
Jared, I'm sorry, brother. Please don't say nothing about Maxine Waters because they're gonna jump on you, dog. They're gonna jump all over you.
But this I don't care for. But
I'm being funny. Please speak the truth.
But look, but I'm gonna say this. She actually had the balls to get up and say she wanted to do something about the injustice of black people. I never forget Nancy Pelosi stood up, looked at Maxine like a little black girl. Like, sit down. We're not talking about that right now. And Maxine kindly walked back to her seat and sat the fuck down. That right there told me that once these black people get up in DC, they have no power. They will put on the front. And what their main objective is, whenever blacks get enough of black people, of black getting killed by police officers, white vigilantes and all that, then we get up in the uproar. Those black politicians always come on TV. All right, y'all calm down. We're going to take care of this and don't nothing happen. That's their main job. If you ever research and look at the network of Nancy Pelosi, Cedric Richmond, Johnson, the one you was talking about, John Lewis and whatnot, all of them. None of these people was rich before they got in DC. Now they all own 2-3 houses, millionaires. How? Because they done bought into the system that has nothing to do with us. They're taking bribes from lobbyists and all this other shit. So I mean, they part of the system now. That system has nothing to do with us. So I don't know why we feel like we so connected to that shit. We not connected to it at all.
So the white people benefited off the same system for years. There's a problem that black people are now
Jared,
benefiting.
where does dude be at when we be debating? Where does dude be at? I agree with all that you said.
Right. Wait, what you said, Bert?
I'm saying, is it a problem that black politicians are benefiting from the same system that whites always will benefit from?
But how
many white politicians in the office with a little bit of money and left 10 times more than they came in with?
To me, that's a problem, because what are we sending them there for? Are we sending them there to become part of the system that's oppressing us? So
if they, I'm not mad at going and make them some money. Everybody else doing it.
But you should be mad at that. You should be mad at them doing it and the white people doing it.
First of all, I'm mad at the white people for doing it, because they carrying the world of black people and they show it to you. They show it to you that they don't.
Check it out. Yeah. You already know. You knew one thing when you came into this world, Berger, that white people was against black people, right? You knew
not
that.
All white people.
Well, I mean,
not all.
As a whole,
not all white people.
Well, not all, but I mean the system as a whole. Put it like this: you cannot be white in America and not have an ounce of racism in you.
I don't believe that.
And you know what's crazy? Now watch this. You know what's crazy? And I have some good white friends.
I don't believe that.
As you know, Justin, wait, Justin. Brother Corey got to get in. He been waiting, and y'all didn't talk already. I'm sorry.
Right.
Everybody mute their phones while their brother talk.
Gotcha.
Hey, I'm gonna say this real quick because I gotta get back to my salmon. But all of y'all are making some good points. One of the big things I've always seen, right, is we discount the points we disagree with whomever we're debating, and let's just be real. Black folks, we're more fuckers. So when you get somebody connected to the agenda emotionally, we tune each other out. I'm gonna only say this as a suggestion, because I heard one of the brothers say he was a history teacher, right? So here's how you build nations. The blueprint has been there for over 5,000 years. If you ever read Sun Tzu's The Art of War, right? One thing that we have never done as a people since being here, or westernized, I say westernized, because some of us have already been here. And then some of us were brought by virtue of transatlantic slave trade. And many of you guys, especially in our regions, who know you have the Indians, like, and there was no adopted shit. Like there's some of us who have Choctaw lineage, blood, whole 9 yards. And it was here pre-Columbian. That's a whole nother conversation, right? But I'm gonna get to the crux of my shit so I can get back to my salmon and whatnot. So obviously I'm not representing the organization I work for, and I've worked for 26 years, but I will pose this to everyone that always I've run into people who have an issue about, how things go with the nation. And we have always been at the vanguard, fighting against injustices. Mostly that turned out to be beneficial for other factions. When we fought against the indoctrination of westernized, the actual biggest beneficiaries of that were the Irish, and subsequently the Italians and the Eastern Europeans that would come in the industrial times, right? And I got to be careful how I say this, because you never know who's on, and I'm too close to my blue card, if y'all understand that. And my blue card has nothing.
My man about to get out that thing. I know what you mean.
Yeah. And so here's the deal. I used to put this stat up when I was a recruiter in Pennsylvania. We make up 13%, brother. We do. It fluctuates anywhere between 11 to 14%. We've never gone higher than that as a census account, right? But somehow from Alaska to Florida and Maine to Arizona, we provide a median of 75% of all incarcerated individuals, Black males. from sea to shining sea. You go to Utah. So we know that there is a structure out there systematically created to keep us. And in a lot of I got to be careful how I say this. A lot of the systems are created immediately after emancipation and with the indoctrination of Jim Crow, right? So here's the deal that I always post to folks. And quiet is kept. We never made up the frontline majority. Never. Not even in Vietnam. And here's why I tell folks read Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Psychologically, the majority never wanted us to do too much bloodshed for the nation. That's why they felt that they can do what they did yesterday. And even with Black Lives Matter, they knew where the line was not to cross, because they knew what the results would be. You understand? But here's how you take ownership of something. And that's why I posed a question in the comments. Militarily speaking, China don't want no smoke like too many other nations, right? They will if they got to, but it's preferred not. But we got the biggest muscle in the world. What just put us on our ass as a world and as a nation? A fucking virus, right? A fucking virus. You can whip any man's ass. If you get your ass whipped, you go to the gym, go to LA Fitness, what's the shit Planet Hollywood, work out, take some Hoist Gracie classes, learn some jiu-jitsu, come back, whip his ass. However, if anybody screws a stinky broad and you catch a little something, that bitch will put you on your ass if not in the ground, right? What am I analogizing? We got to stop being the vanguard to the fight that benefits everyone else. We got to become a virus. There's a reason why those folks got in as they got in. My little brother comes to visit me at the installation I live at across the river. I let him in. I'm an ID'd individual. I let anybody want to come out to Bell Chase for any reason, I could let you in. So my point is that we still have to understand how to collectively manipulate systems that have been manipulating us for centuries. But we can't broadcast it. You got to groom folks, right? Now, I'm gonna put this to this is something I can actually talk about openly. I'm a big Matt. You know where I'm going with this? I am a 2600 purple fucking night. But here's the funny thing that maybe some folks don't understand.
Here we go.
All right, put your shit back on me.
That's what they do. Police officers and military.
St. Aug was created. But here's the deal. It pays well. Here's the deal. St. Aug was created by a Christian entity, right? The Holy Roman Catholic Church, to endorse segregation. That's why we were created. Now, inadvertently, somebody talked about there are some good white folks. And there are, because the priests that were responsible for opening St. Augustine, the Josephite orders. Now, if you look at the hierarchy of priests, the chain of command of things, they're at the bottom. Their mission has always been missionary work to Africa and African Americans, right? So, but some of them truistically believe what they were charged to do. So before 1951, a lot of them went to Jesuit, St. Aloysius, which would subsequently become Brother Martin, all these other places, learn what they were teaching the white kids. And then that's why our academics, for a time, was some of the highest in the city, which subsequently produced some of the leaders that were of the vanguard of the civil rights era in New Orleans. Here's how simple-minded some things can be. There's been one particular instance that caused them to want to shut St. Aug down ever since. Anybody remember or old enough to remember the back-to-back LHSAA state championship? At that point, what they realized is they created their experiment to prevent Negro boys from commingling with their sons and subsequently their daughters. It created a monster. So St. Aug became dominant in a lot of things, right? And subsequently, there's a secondary and tertiary effects. The predominance of when St. Aug opened up showed that the New Orleans public school systems had just as much, if not more, talent, intelligence, capable individuals to advance, right? So that's when you start seeing the emergence of folks coming from every institution. So unfortunately, they created a virus that they've been trying to kill. And let's be real, man, we had this discussion kind of the other day. That's why I want to get, what's his name, Andre on, but that's of a more jovial conversation. But you got to target. See, when black folks ain't focused on trying to be included in their stuff, because we always had the best of the best, right? Let's be real. You had St. Aug, you had Kennedy, you had 35.
Wait, Brother Corey, you saying a lot, and we got to give people a chance to respond to some of this you saying, because you said some heavy stuff.
My whole point is,
you on mute, Justin.
My whole point is that we got to look at some of the institutions that are set up that we can manipulate. I happen to be wearing some clothes of one of them. You don't have to be all into that indoctrination bullshit, but you can advance yourself educationally, socially, and economically the same way some of the other folks did. And I'm not saying everybody got to do this, but your agenda has to be set, and you got to groom certain people to do things. We got to have our own police force. We got to have our own. I see people pissing off about routes, but where else we gonna shop at? So you got to do things that are going to sustain us as a community, independent and self-sufficient, by manipulating certain things that are here. And I'm gonna say this one last thing, man. I'm gonna do like you. I'm gonna say this one last thing, and then I'm gonna end. We gotta stop killing each other when folks are trying to help. Percival Miller, right? Y'all know every time Master P say he gonna put out a product, who's his biggest critiques?
Black folks.
Own folks in New Orleans. Man want to buy the Pelicans. Our folks are killers. Man makes some damn syrup. We've been buying fucking what's that shit? Ancient Mama products for years. He come up with something that's kind of.
His internet must have messed up. Say, bro, we got another subject that we want to talk about, so we gonna let y'all get y'all last words, and Jared and Justin. Because I want to get him. He was saying the black on, because we were gonna talk about that stuff dealing with New Orleans, but he said some good stuff that Master P stuck. But if he bring them pumps back, it's on and popping.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wrap it up what I was talking about. I don't know. I just feel like when we get the like politicians into DC, they're there for sure, man, for the most part. And we done seen it. Like, I'm 42 years old. I mean, all my life I've been seeing it.
Ooh,
so
Lord.
like, right. So I mean, it's like, how many more lifetimes we got to live to see the same thing play over and over and over and over until we realize we got to do our own thing. The only time we ever had what we needed was back when we had Tulsa, Oklahoma. You had that little town in Florida, all the Black Wall Street. We created our own thing. That's kind of what Corey
Philadelphia too. There was a big Black Wall Street in Philadelphia that nobody don't talk about.
Right, that's kind of like that's where Corey was kind of leading to, and that's pretty much our solution. And for me, I just hope that we don't waste another 4 years complaining and blaming people for the same system we know it's not meant for us. Mm-hmm. The system ain't for us, dog. It's like, why keep waiting 4 years? 4 years is a lot of it's a long time. You know what I mean? You know how many family members you're losing 4 years waiting for change?
Yeah.
Mm.
You lose cousins, brothers, aunties, and I done lost a lot of aunties and uncles in 4 years. Why we as blacks sat back and complained, but didn't have no solutions to do anything for ourselves. So all I say with this here, man, with this new administration, I just hope if things, I'm gonna predict things not gonna go the way we want it to go, but we shouldn't be sitting around blaming and finding fault in this shit when we already know what's coming. Mm-hmm. We should be stepping away doing our own thing. We should have been doing that. If we don't start now, it'll never happen. We just keep on doing the same thing. Every 4 years, we're looking for the new Jesus to take over the party.
Hey, Jared, I'm sorry. I don't want you to take this as a me challenging you, but when you say do our own thing, do you mean economically, like pooling our money together, or starting our own political parties, or what specifically?
Right.
Unpack that. When you say do our own thing, what are you talking about specifically?
I mean, I think we should do group economics. The way I always, like I said, one of the old shows y'all had, I talked about the Asians, how they practice group economics. I feel like we should do the same thing. I mean, when it comes down to politics, create our own political bloc. So that way, when it comes down to Democrats and Republicans, they come to our block and ask us for our suggestions. They ask us for what things we want. And then if they implement it into their plan, then that's what we vote for. But we cannot keep loyally giving our votes to Democrats and not considering the other side. If the other side is offering something, I'm not promoting no party. I just feel like we need to have our own thing with our own agenda, with our own specifics, and let those other parties try to pick up some of them things. If they don't want to pick it up, fuck them.
That go.
Okay, let me interject something right there.
Man,
I like everybody else. Like a lot of other black people voted for Biden for my own personal reasons. But I do not align myself with the Democratic Party. Let me say this: they just run everything. They have everything right now. If we don't get anything, because it was black people that put them in office. It was Philadelphia, it was Atlanta, it was Fulton and it was all of those little counties. It was Las Vegas, it was Milwaukee, it was all of these black places. If we don't get anything for our vote, and I strongly suspect we not. If we don't get anything for our vote this time, we gotta abandon this party. Like, man, I'm not playing when I say they don't do shit for us.
And you know where it should start?
We have to abandon all parties. We have to abandon all of them.
I agree. We gotta abandon our parties. I'm with you on that.
Look, check it out, man.
But as Jared said all the time, our biggest man, the Democratic Party, man, they play like they're our partners.
They never was though. That was people always.
Never. That's what I'm saying. Never.
People don't even pay attention to the players, to the Republic for what they stand. Where the Democrats was at in that realm. Like people need to do their research on what the Democratic Party stands for. People be so gun ho to go against the Republican Party. When you go back and look what the Democratic Party stands for, you'll be pissed off. But at the same time, it just how the stuff plays out now. You know what I'm saying? But another thing, Matt, Jared, I agree. I'm gonna say to get off about. We always talk about like starting our own and doing this, that, and the third. Long as you incorporate education in that as well, you know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be a hard task to do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's saying
education comes before all that. You have to educate yourselves who you are and where you come from. But this is the thing that's gonna irk me the most. We're gonna sit here after we scalded what his name, Ice Cube, right? For interjecting in the runoff or whatever, talking about a black deal. We about to forget about that. We about to roll with this administration and not hold them accountable for what Ice Cube tried to bring to the table. After we publicly shamed this man in front of everybody, told him, shut up, sit down, get out the way, let's get him elected.
Man, across the board, we better get something for our vote. We got these people in office. If we don't get nothing for our vote, it's bad enough. And this is one thing I like about this energy over the last like 8 years or so. Black people as a whole then kind of woke up to this Democratic Party scam that's been going on since my parents was young. We done started waking up to the fact that, man, they not really effing with us like that. That's all I'm saying. And I love that energy. I love that energy.
So, man, look, bro, y'all, and it was a good time. We got to move to our other topic.
Hey, I want to ask, what have like we Democrats don't do shit for us, but what have Republicans done for us?
We go because we gonna talk about the. Maybe we have another show about that. On to this other
I would like to talk about that though. Hey, Jared, if you don't mind, Jared, you got a little while because I would like for you to stick around for this one.
That's cool.
Okay, just hang around. Appreciate you, big bro.
Can I touch on that? Like, I have some friends that's Republicans, right? And one of them explained this to me, and I want y'all to get off. How many? We know a lot of people. Let's start with government assistance and everything where your taxes go to, right? Like y'all know people bigger our age who don't go to work, bro. You got 3 damn jobs, you know what I'm saying? You know somebody your age that don't go to work and they just sit back and get welfare, you know what I'm saying? Have a bunch of kids and eat off the government. That's your hard-earned tax dollars, right? I have a Republican friend who broke that down to me because I used to be blind to the fact I just thought Republicans white, Democrats black when you had a whole bunch of black Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Some of them feel as though, you know what I'm saying, why I gotta give my hard-earned tax dollars to people who can't get off their ass and work. You know what I'm saying? Only people who I think subject to like a who don't get that blame is like the handicap and the people who actually need an elderly, you know what I'm saying? People who need government assistance. Believe it or not, like I'm not gonna say I'm agreeing with the Republican Party because you know if people who don't sit back.
Your mic went off.
They just think the Republican Party is white, but they have some good points in what they say. It's just when you get the rich people come up in there who want the tax breaks and who abuse
It makes me look kooky.
What some of them say, you know what I'm saying? But it's some good things in both parties, but I just need people to do a little bit more research on both of the parties. That's my piece, y'all.
Hey,
To answer your question before you go, if they cut off welfare, food stamps, and all that, it would affect more white people than it would ever affect black people.
And
So-
to my last point, Burger and everybody, you know, most times when you see a group of racist white people, or like yesterday, it be the trailer trash, bro. They be just associated.
It be the poorest of the poor.
Exactly.
No matter how poor white people are, they're still going to support the Republican.
Y'all wigging if y'all think that was all poor people out there.
I'm not.
That's the first thing.
That's not
Y'all
what we're
wigging.
saying.
So look,
That's not what we're saying at all. That's not what we're
Wait.
saying at all.
let's get to that. Justin, you can stay on if you want. At the next,
Okay.
You probably want to talk about the next topic anyway.
Yeah, y'all gonna both want to talk about this.
No. Let me say no. He said something. I gotta respond to this. Justin just said there are black Republicans. No, I gotta say something. Like you can't say nothing and I can't respond. Justin said that there are black He have black friends that's Republicans.
And
Black
white.
people in the audience. Let me just say this: none of y'all are Republicans or Democrats. Y'all not a part of the party. None of them don't fuck with y'all. Y'all are not none of y'all. If you are a Republican or Democrat, that's an actual club you can be in. You would have a card. You would literally, I could Google you and you would come up. You are not, none of y'all are Democrats or Republicans. Stop aligning yourself with them fucking parties.
Listen, Burger. I mean,
You said you have black friends that's Republicans.
and Matt, you don't know who I know either. You know what I'm saying?
Who are these people? I should be able to Google them.
That's just not my place to say. But at the same time, listen, I'm just saying, listen. Or let's just say vote for that party to keep it safe. But we can have a discussion on other terms. But go to the next topic. Trust
Let's go to the next topic. Matt always got to get the last word.
No, it's not even.
No, I mean,
He always got to get up, trying to go to the next subject. Well, you was off anyway. Our next topic, bro. So look, we about to get into what's going on in the inner city of New Orleans. We about to talk about these youngsters killing, carjacking people consistently, old women shooting them, the problems that we have in the city. I see Burger got his hand. I'm gonna let Burger go. Go ahead, Burger.
Y'all know how I feel about this. Nobody, for one, holds them little bastards responsible, and nobody for killing them. You want them to stop breaking in people's shit? Kill them dead. I don't care if they 12. I promise you. You kill one of them, you're going to get a lot of them going to stop. But the fact that people are so afraid to do any of them something because they're afraid to go to jail or have to deal with the police side of it, the reason why they're going to keep doing what they're doing, we don't hold them accountable. The parents at home not hold them accountable. The juvenile system don't hold them accountable. You get a slap on the wrist. They get a straight slap on the wrist. They can murder one of your family members and they know they're going to be at home. They know they're going to come home. They're going to put them in some type of program where we baby them up and send them home. They need to either one, put them in jail for a long ass time or murder their ass right there. Whatever they do to somebody, it need to be done to them.
I can share with y'all something that I recently experienced.
Go ahead.
Maybe it was like a couple of days before Christmas. I'm not sure. The gas station right there on Claiborne, like not too far from the Hangover Bar, whatever that gas station is right there. It was maybe like 11:30 at nighttime. I was getting some gas, right? And so I see these little dudes, man. Dudes had to be from 12 to maybe 15. They were like 6 of them. So I'm pumping gas in my car, you know what I'm saying? And one of them, he was looking real suspicious, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking like, man, I know what's going on in the city. I'm like, oh Lord, you know what I'm saying? So you get that vibe. And then one of them was like, oh no, man, that's Smash Time. He good. Dude. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? So I'm like, man, y'all come here. You know what I'm saying? So like, since they know who I am, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me see what y'all got going, man. He said, you about to get got, little brother. I'm like, man, y'all go ahead, man. When I tell you, you can see what they had, all of them was scrap. Every last one of them, fool. And I'm avoiding, like, trying to change the subject, asking, man, how y'all doing in school, this, that, and the third. One say, man, I don't be entertaining that virtual bullshit, man. But like, the other ones asking me, man, they gonna have parade season, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I hope so. You know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy that like, I looked at myself as a older, I ain't gonna say a mentor to them. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy that maybe if I wasn't who I am, what would have probably happened to me? And I shared that story on my Instagram live the other night, and it was going crazy. But it's really wild out here, and I just blame it on the fact that on top of coronavirus and on top of this, we don't have enough resources for kids in the city, and on top we don't have enough stuff for them to do. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, the parenting bad. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand what's wrong with their kids and can't tell you what they're doing or where they at. You know what I'm saying?
But
I
they
grew up
don't
uptown
care.
Milwaukee. Right. You
But
know
they
what I'm
don't
saying?
care.
It's wild out here, y'all. So like the age, you might think they're young, son, but you gotta brace yourself and you gotta be ready for everything. But the city does need to change. What it is, I don't know. But I mean, it starts at home. It got to, you know.
Let me tell you. Let me add to that. To get a gun, when you purchase a gun, the first thing you know when you purchase a gun and buy bullets for it, that it can kill people, that it hurt people. So that's the first decision you made. The second decision you made as a human being is you went out here and said that I'm going to take from somebody.
Hold up, dog. Will, that is bullshit. What you talking? Let me say this. I'm very religious. Stop blaming that shit on the Christians. Don't blame that. Don't blame what the nigga doing it on some Christians. That's some bullshit. What you talking about? I don't think you. I think you absolutely being very. How can you? Could Christians say no? Fuck that. Let me tell you this. At the end of the day, I blame a lot of shit that's going on with these kids on us because when people try to make stiffer penalties on certain shit, we trying to fight against. Now, don't get me wrong. We always have issues where they do have some blacks that are falsely accused of going to jail. Falsely accused of going to jail. But when a motherfucker do something and they got it on camera, he needs to do hard time. I don't give like if you kill an old lady, I feel as though you should die. That's the way. I don't give a fuck how old you is. If you kill, because let me tell you something. I teach high school kids. Them motherfuckers got a lot of sense.
A lot of it.
Middle school too.
Fucking sense. And for you know the only reason why they're doing this shit is because they know that they can't go to big jail for doing what they're doing. They know that. And a lot of the times, like the resources are there. We have band, they have football, they don't want to do that shit. And the parents
don't want to do it. Exactly.
If you know your child fucked up, you need to fucking get somebody to help you out. A lot of these parents don't give a fuck about their child. All they want to do is shake their ass and play bounce music. That's what the fuck they won't do, and they won't fuck everybody that's in the fucking center of in a site. See, I don't want to get on this. I will go all about this shit, and I'm gonna be real with you. And I hate to say it, and it's because some of these dudes they left these children. They either dead or they're in jail because they're always trying to get fast money instead of going to school and getting your fucking education and try to get out of the situation you in to better your family. That's all I'm gonna say right there. Y'all can go ahead.
What you got, Jared?
For me, it's hard to talk about that if you don't address the root problem of that. What we talking about right now, we talking about once they got to that point, right? We talking about they done got to the point, the 11, 12, 13, they out here carjacking, shooting, robbing, and all that other stuff. But we're not talking about what led up to that, you know. And my thing is, I always felt that until you change the economic situation of our people, is when you would change this.
Of a 12-year-old?
Of a 12
At 12 and 13 years old.
Jared, you stealing my point. I wish I'd have went before Jared. You're right.
Wait.
Elaborate on that.
All right.
I know what you're saying.
Let me go into. If you go in Holly Grove, Pigeon Town, Third Ward, wherever, you go to any one of these corner stores. Who own those stores? The Arab.
Arab.
What do the Arabs do to the little kids when they come in there? They talk to them all stupid. They kick them out the store and all this other shit, right? Instead of giving them the black kids a job in those stores, right? Helping the elderly out in the neighborhood, bring their groceries to their house. They could do all that. But the Arabs don't give a fuck about that. They're in our neighborhoods. They're getting rich. They leaving them neighborhoods. They closing down at 9 o'clock, coming to the West Bank, to Stonebridge, and all these other big neighborhoods, whatever. And what that does, that leave our kids out in the street with nothing else to do. They ain't got no jobs. They ain't got no opportunities because we're not creating. We don't have no stores. We don't have no economic power in our own neighborhoods. We have to have that.
I mean, I don't know.
Check it
I
out,
don't know, Jared, bro.
check it out. If you go back and miss you, and you go in the I went to fantasy with what you call them people, Vietnamese. They ignorant just like black people are, but they smart because their parents set it up to where they ain't have to do all the dumb shit that we do. They lived 17 to a house until that one store grew and got big. They branched off and got another store. Now all them kids used to tease at Fantasy Williams. They all fucking CEOs. They all business owners.
I have a question.
We ain't have that growing up.
So, do you mean more about because when you say economic, you just it just grasping to say we in a poor area. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't have their parents don't have the monetary resources. Can we also suggest? Can we also suggest like it take a village to raise a child? Times not like what they used to. The lady around the corner beat your ass too if she catch you doing something. I just feel like it's more than what you.
But you have to have hope. You have to have hope for that. You have to have
hope.
No, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't get to speak on this yet. Yeah, I just don't want y'all to get too deep into it. I'm sorry. We had a new person come on the show. Who are you, brother?
Yeah, I don't see his name.
J Flow, bro. What up, man?
Oh, what's up?
Yeah. I feel like you have to have some kind of hope for all that what you're talking about. If you come into this world and you look around you, all you see is killing, robbing, and stealing. You have no hope. You have no hope.
Say, Jared, you say the economic. Like I look, I look up to you like a
Johnny. It's gonna be my turn to talk in a second.
Hold on, man. No, you always interrupt the people. I mean,
y'all said all y'all said y'all points, and now y'all debating y'all points. I never got to talk.
What I'm about to say, man. Hold up. You see, man, always. Hey, you see, Justin was right. Justin, you're right.
Every time he gonna cut you off.
Shut up.
No, y'all said y'all points, all y'all, and then y'all debating y'all points. I never even got to talk about it. But okay, go.
I'm not debating this. The one thing I like, I look up to Jared like a big brother. Me and Jared, if y'all don't know, we play in Brazzville together. Like I look up to him. He's always when he come out of economics and everything, he'll help you out all kind of ways, bro. What Jared really talking about? Where Jared really worked hard to get where he's at. I feel as though a lot of us don't do what Jared have done. You feel what I'm saying? That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry, Matt.
Robert, can you post James' comment right quick? Let Matt say what he want to say. But can you post James' comment?
I saw a comment talking about 12-year-olds shouldn't be worrying about economics. That's a huge problem, man. That's crazy. Man. If you 5-6 years old, I feel like Johnny, how old your kids is, Johnny?
My kid's 6 and 20 is 4. 6
and 4. Man, when them kids old enough to understand their ABCs, you should be teaching them economics. They should be understanding. They should be out with daddy cutting grinds, learning the business, making their money on the weekend. So they don't have to go out on the weekend and find a way to get $5 or $10.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. We got to get out of that. That's the problem we have. We're saying, well, kids need to be kids. Yeah, they can be kids, but they can be small kids too.
Go ahead, brother Matt.
I agree with what Jared said. I also so Berger made some good points. I am a keeper of the Second Amendment. If you run up on the kid, you probably gonna get it. If I can see you coming, you probably gonna get it. With that being said, if we want to get to the root of this, it all goes back to money, right? Let me also say, while I'm a man of faith, I do agree that a lot of these religions, Christianity being a lot of these religions have made black people far too forgiving. But we can come back to that another time. I don't disagree with Will Cooper on that one bit. But let's get back to the money. So I was a victim of Hurricane Katrina. The only thing I could see when in New Orleans was how destitute it was, how broke everybody was. Honestly, man, a lot of people really wasn't getting that much money on a legit tip. Cats had jobs where they worked hard, came home sweating, worked 2 or 3 jobs to have a little something. So if I'm a child and I see my mom and them working hard, my daddy and them working hard, or if he even there, and he come home and he have like shit, then why would I want to emulate what it is my daddy doing? Or why is it these kids have no real path to success? They don't even know what getting real money is. But for me, that go back to these politicians. Ain't no real programs in our school, man. Like we should have been taught economics and shit when I was in school. Do y'all realize how crooked the Orleans Parish Public School Board was when we was in school?
Man,
All
yes,
the money they had,
Yes.
and so
man. The Orleans public school system had so much money. Our school should have been on like the schools out here in Dallas. They should have been on, but they stole that money. I was glad when the bastards
facts.
went to going to jail. To be real, y'all talking about people killing and going to jail. I was glad when they started going to jail because they ain't meant none of us no good. But when I was in school, I didn't when in life I didn't learn about good credit, for instance, until I had credit problems and I needed to fix my shit. So, there should have been some classes when somebody taught me how to maintain a checking account and a savings account and what good credit was and why not to mess up my credit. And but we were taught none of this. It all goes back to money. When I was in school, $100 meant I can go get a pair of J's or something or some G Nikes or something. Nobody told me that every time I got money, it wasn't for shit. And honestly, man, our parents couldn't teach us. A lot of our parents didn't know how to keep no budget. They didn't know how to save. A lot of our parents didn't know. I had to learn on my own that when my children go to college, I got one kid trying to go to LSU and get his PhD in political science, and I got another one going to law school the year after him. Check this out. Nobody I saved and put my money to the side so my kids didn't have to work hard and shit while they was in college and shit. Our parents didn't do that for us. A lot of us, when we went to school, our parents handed us a fucking FAFSA application. They handed us finance. So we can say we gonna kill these kids, but how do we make it better for them? Kids not doing this shit in Dallas because they have something to live for. They have something to work toward. A lot of them kids don't see shit. Wait, let me finish. A lot of them kids don't see any. They don't see a path to success. The most successful people they see, especially black men, they hustling. They flat out hustling. Man, when I get so tired of when I come home and I'm in a nice car, I have this on, I have this piece of jewelry on. Black kids in New Orleans thinking I must have sold drugs. Man, I never held a rock in my hand in my life. I couldn't even identify a real rock for you. I ain't never been no gangster. All I know how to do is work hard. I worked hard. I played drums. I built a business for myself. I laid out things for my kids, and I'm building some kind of lineage for them. That's all I knew how to do. But I didn't learn that shit till I got out of New Orleans. And I'm being real. I didn't learn. I didn't learn how much credit was worth. I didn't learn how much my good name was worth. I didn't learn how to make myself marketable and make myself a business till I got the fuck out of there. Why couldn't we have learned that at home? We should have been. I'm back on these teachers. I'm not teachers. I'm back on the crooked system and these crooked ass politicians. That's our problem. Ain't nobody teaching these kids nothing. Jared shouldn't have had to teach you that shit. I just saw Jared pull a million brothers, or try to at least pull a million brothers under his wing and show them how to get into these houses. Man, I didn't try to show a million brothers how to try to really get into this music thing and really do it. And I'm not talking about like do it and you hustling gigs in the French Quarter every day. I'm talking about do it and put your hands on some life-changing money. And they don't want to listen because in their minds, it's a process and it's going to take too long to get there. We're not even teaching people that it's a process. Life is progressional. None of this shit don't just happen. We're not teaching none of that. So, man, that's what I think the problem is. I mean, we can kill these babies. I'm all for defending yourself. But if we're going to get to the root of the problem is they don't see no money and they're not showed a path to getting money. Plain and simple.
And
Right. They don't
parenting
see no
too,
light. They don't see a
and
future.
generational wealth. We don't stress that. In I ain't gonna say in New Orleans, but I know when I first learned about what generational wealth was, it took one of my college friends' mama to teach me. I know one thing I see a lot here in New Orleans. When you 18, you gotta get out the house. Why your kid can't stay with you until they save up some money and get them something nice, or like, you know what I'm saying, just save up some money and build upon it, you know what I'm saying? Or leave, like somebody said their parents and leave them behind for them. It's a lot, but we ain't get to do it to the left of me or to the right of me. CJ, so what do you got to say about it?
Go ahead, J-Flow.
Nah, man, I just wanted to hop on and first of all commemorate y'all, man, for what y'all doing with this platform, dog. Y'all doing a great job, man. So definitely kudos, keep that up, man. But yeah, man, just to echo the sentiments of what all y'all was saying, man, in reference to, you know, building something and putting something in place for these kids to have some type of real hope, man, so that they could learn the basic fundamentals of what life is all about, man. I think, and I could say the same thing, man. Going back to what Matt was talking about as far as not having, you know, certain resources in place, man, because, you know, I grew up in the city too. So, you know, a lot of the stuff I learned about money and, you know what I'm saying, and how to keep a budget and, you know what I'm saying, how to apply for, you know, some of them may not even know how to apply for jobs. I mean, we talking about younger kids, but, you know what I'm saying, like even in just being a kid, man, I couldn't really be a kid, you know, up, you know, where I came from, man. It's like, you look at things, and I look at, you know, I listen to y'all talk because I done been away from the city for a while, man. So, you know what I'm saying? But I listen to, you know, a lot of the things that, you know, you guys talk about in reference to how these kids moving, man. Little bitty kids, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, it's like 20 times worse than what it was when, you know what I'm saying, when we was growing up, you know what I'm saying? And so it is like, it's up to us, man, to come up with not just, you know, only platforms like this, man, but I think that we should try to get some stuff together to where we could kind of get in the neighborhood and kind of, you know what I'm saying, reach out a little bit more to them. And in reference to, you know, religion, I think a lot of people get that construed, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people practice different religions and they have different beliefs. But I strongly believe that, you know, Christianity or whatever religion you're in should be a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that you just doing, you know, it's just a habit. Habits could easily be broke. And I feel like if it's something that, you know what I'm saying, that you really cling to, it should be a life-changing thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have their own beliefs. Everybody have their own systems of worship. But I just strongly believe that, you know, in order for that lifestyle or that belief to be effective, it has to change your life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what needs to happen with these kids. I think that's what needs to happen, first of all, with the kids' parents. You know what I'm saying? Because in order for these kids to be kids, the parents going to have to be parents. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they got to have people in place to teach them how to be parents. You know what I'm saying? When we was coming up, we was taught how to be kids. We was taught how, you know, to be men, even in, you know what I'm saying, even in the streets, because I grew up in a home, you know, where my grandma raised me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up in a home with my father. Or I ain't grew up in a home, you know what I'm saying, where, you know what I'm saying, I had, you know, a mom and
his phone.
Rodman, bring J Flow out and bring him back in. His phone cutting out.
Hey,
Can I say something real quick?
go ahead, brother.
While I agree with a lot of what Matt and Jared said, I feel like it's an excuse because everybody on here could say we don't come from money. We don't come from money. Whether you grew up and went the right way or you grew up and went the wrong way, that shit is a choice. You mean to tell me if one of these kids gunned me down trying to take my car from me, I'm going to have somebody get on the internet and say because they don't have this and because they don't have that, that's the excuse? They got a 52-year-old woman that they just murdered, shot her in her face, and took her.
How old was the baby? How old was the baby that did it?
See, that's 15. The point. We gotta stop that. We been.
I'm asking you a question, Burger. You looking for argument here, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you saying. You got to defend yourself. I'm asking.
One of them was 15, and the other one I don't know his age because he ain't read on his boy yet.
Okay, let me help you with something. Let me tell you why money makes a difference. Know why my oldest son wasn't out stealing cars at 15?
Cause you'd have beat his ass.
Exactly.
No, I don't whip my children. I don't whip my children. I can tell you why. Can I tell you why?
Yeah.
Because at 15, I bought him his own SUV. This is my point. When you can, when kids are hella impressed with this stuff, and you saying be a good parent, but you can't. While I was never a thug, I coveted the stuff the drug dealers in my neighborhood had. They had shit. Like, you can say what you want about teach your child to be a good child and all of this. Man, I'm sick of being dirty. I'm sick of living like this. You can say what you want. I know some good people that are raised up really well, and they end up going the wrong way. There's a lot of cops that went to St. Aug. There's some people that came up really well off that went to St. Aug too that ended up gangsters.
Matt,
just answer this question, Matt.
I agree with you, but I also think that they have a lot of people that don't know what you know and don't have the resources to get. Like, we talking about generational wealth,
right?
But they gotta start generational wealth. Got to start.
But you have to start. It didn't just start.
But Matt, they have to start. Somebody in the family have to break that cycle in that family.
And Matt,
I understand that, but how can they break it? How can they break it and they can't? Man, why y'all don't want to get them dirty Democrats down there?
If they were robbing,
do you think your kid watch this? Even if you in a bunch of
Matt, what you would say would make a lot of sense if they was out here robbing rich people. They robbing poor people just like them.
Do you think if you in a bunch of kid a car
because you know the system?
Do you think he'd still out there stealing cars?
I can't. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
If you wouldn't have bought your kid a car at 15, like you say you bought him a car, do you think he would have been out here stealing cars if you wouldn't have bought him a car?
You can't. Can I finish?
Yeah.
Okay. You can't. While I've never been a gangster, I'm not gonna tell you I never thought about doing nothing illegal to get money because so I can't say what they would have been. I can say that that's something they never had to worry about because their daddy got out and hustled so they could have something. I don't know, man. My kids, I didn't make it because my parents was good, man. I was blessed and I was lucky. It was dudes that was raised up right next to me, literally the house next door, who lives went a whole different way, good brother. Thanks. So I'm just saying. You're not where you are because you're not the upstanding citizen you are because your parents were great, because that's really diminishing a lot of these dudes whose lives went astray. A lot of them dudes didn't have bad parents, and I resent that. I know some people that were excellent parents and they just did fucked up shit. But when kids that live in my neighborhood, the black ones, the white ones, the whatever ones, they are far less likely to mess up because they're shown a different path. My kids were shown a different path not because I'm so good. I'm a regular dude. I promise you, I'm just a regular dude that know how to play drums. My kids were shown a different path though because I got around some old head musicians who showed me a different path. So when enough of us are shown, and another thing, let me be real with you too. I live in a city that's not ran by Democrats. So kids in schools have more opportunity. I live in the city I live in, the state I went in is really red. They're not just stealing from the school system like dogs and giving the kids like little pieces of shit. Huh?
Bro, so you think those kids out here breaking their cars because they know the school system and the state is run by Democrats and they out here stealing?
No, but them dirty Democrats don't do that for them children.
No, I'm you saying that, Matt, but it's an excuse.
Man, that's not hey, bro.
It's a bullshit
excuse.
Parent,
man. Bro, man, I'm gonna just tell you this.
Your kids didn't do that shit because you were a good parent. My kids won't be in that life because I ain't the richest person in the world. But they say their daddy get up every day and go to work. Man, he go to work every day and he don't take nothing from nobody. And I'm
Man.
not mind the excuse. If mine go shoot somebody and take something from them, lock their ass up.
See, bro, real stuff. Let me tell you something. Me being a teacher with those kids that's the same age of that's doing some of these crimes. A lot of the times, I'm preaching the same stuff y'all talking, but it's like I can say that. I can say, look, bro, this is how you do it. This is how you do that. But then they got somebody else that's telling them, well, this is how you do that. Black people has made being a real nigga cool, too cool now.
These dudes on here right now.
Like most of the time, being that real nigga, that's cool. You know, kids are introduced to guns earlier than they introduced to doing stuff. Like one thing, Jared said, my kid, I was shocked that my kid could learn how to ride a lawnmower. He know how to, at 6 years old, he know how to maneuver a lawnmower. They know once daddy finished, just like Jared said, once daddy finished, daddy get money for this. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of kids don't have this opportunity that we have, and it starts with it kind of, in a sense, our generation has failed these kids. Our generation has failed these kids because we have not set ourselves up. We have not set ourselves up in order to teach our family to be better. Now, I have set myself up. Matt, you have set yourself up, but we a small percentage of who have done that. We got 2 more brothers on here. My brother,
go ahead, Will. Say what you got to say, man.
Christianity.
My brother Will, what's good? Say, bro, when Will talk, y'all watch how cool this dude is, man. Watch how you talk, girl. This dude cool as hell.
Hey, what's good? What's good, man? Hey, I'm good. Y'all can hear me pretty good?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Okay. Look, this is what I meant by that before my man went off on me, right? If we want change, all right, we always look at change and don't go back far enough to actually see how Black people actually did things. We always go back 200 years and 400 years. Okay, there's a book called The Golden Age of the Moors. I'm talking about damn near every Black person was dripped in gold. Okay, and the point, they were pushing Islam a little bit, but for the most part, there was no religion. And what I mean by this religion is this: we want a better economic plan. We want, economics, a better economical structure, right? But in this day and time, every city, especially major city, there's a church that makes at least $1 million a month. Okay, at least $1 million a month. That money could have went to.
There are also clubs that Black people go to that makes money. Stop, like they got
right. I get that. Hey, listen. I get that, but this is the difference, though. Okay, we're buying Pastor a $65 million private jet. We're buying Pastor $500,000 Bentegas, Bentley cars and all of this type of stuff. But those same people who giving this money up can't seem to find some way to pay their own bills, but they find ways to make sure the pastor eat. See, this is the thing that we don't want to discuss, and this is the reason why this conversation will continue constantly, over and over and over, until we deal with the root issue. The Black church is harming the Black community, not helping the Black community.
That's just one issue. That's just one issue.
That's BS.
Listen, I get a check from a church every week, and I'm about to come on here and agree with Will. I'm sorry. Like y'all, for every naysayer you get, Will, I got you covered, baby. About the Black church.
Hey, look.
Man, I need you to answer your phone right quick. Seriously.
Hey, look, this is what we're not talking about. There's information out here that predates religion when black people were worth trillions of dollars. This is the information we don't want to research. We just want to deal with the here and now and don't want to understand the original black man and woman.
That's not the root problem.
How do you listen? I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off here.
How does this relate to
what's
going on right now?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this and get off here. Okay. Before religion was brought into the black community, we strive. We can go all the way back to the Egyptians, the Kamites, the Cushites. We can go all the way back, man. This is the research. This is the information that's not given to you in the school system. Okay, there were a level of black people that's not discussed. Until we discuss that, we're gonna have the same conversation over and over and over and over. And that's what we're doing now.
You didn't answer our question, brother. How is that relating to what's going on with these kids?
It doesn't. It doesn't. And
it absolutely doesn't.
And so let me just respond.
Hey, look. Okay, look. Hey, let me say this. Okay, this is why it does. Okay, because again, how are you gonna fix a problem by dealing with the right now issue? I'll just say that. In order to deal with a problem or fix a situation, you got to go all the way back. You got to deal with the root issue.
Okay.
If you don't change the root issue, nothing is going to change.
Right.
No matter how you put it, no matter how you say it, the root
I'm gonna
issue.
let you say what you about to say, but the words don't change, my brother.
I mean,
the words change.
I'm gonna be real. I hate the fact that black people always blaming the church. And y'all go to club every week. The club is for black people. Like all these other people you put your money to, if you don't put your money to church, you can't expect no church to help you. I'm gonna just put it like that. Like at the end of the day, stop blaming the church. And hold up, when we was coming up, we was more involved in church. Kids not involved in church like that right now.
Because their parents not involved in church
like that.
So wait, hold on. Let
say something. He get to say
that's Jared Powell, brother. I see 96 SU. No, that's 95. Okay.
No, Jared is a good dude. He's a good friend of mine. He wish he was my crab brother, but that's another show. I let that boy to death. There is no one root cause of problems. We all see what's going on. We all identify it. Brother Will, he talks about the church, but black people had 3 institutions in America, family, religion, and school. Those are all failed institutions for black people nowadays. Now, Will, you mentioned back in the day when kings and queens in Africa, I don't know how many Africans you ever spoke to. They don't really fuck with African Americans. They look down on.
Hey, listen. I never said African.
Let me make my point.
I never said African. I never said African because ultimately, we have always been here. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Sure. And
good brother, the Moors wasn't necessarily African. I just want to
I understand that too. But when you say when Will and correct me if I'm wrong, when I heard you say original man, when I hear that makes me think of African civilization, us in Africa from day one. That's what I think of. All right. Now,
right. Let me clarify that. Okay. Let me clarify that. Okay. The original man was everywhere. You can look up the Asiatic black man and woman. We're on the walls right now in Asia, black people that date back 9,000 years. So we were everywhere, fam. It's just all about the research.
Hey, family, good brother. The oldest pyramid Well, there are pyramids in the United States older than the ones in Egypt. Just so we're all on the same page.
We
We've
getting
been. Will
distracted.
got a
I
point.
want
We've
to
been
hear what they
everywhere.
got to. We get
No,
distracted.
and
I want to hear what they got to
I
say.
concede that. I concede that. So, but my point is, when we talking about African Americans, our people that look like us, the three institutions, and I'm gonna just take it back to the 60s. The three institutions that we had that was strong was family, church, and education. They had so much pride. You know, I watched y'all show a couple weeks ago, a month ago, when y'all was having awards pre-Katrina, and Matt spoke about St. Aug back in the 60s, what they had to go through and all that stuff, and that was real. And I went to St. Aug, but my pops, he went to Booker T, and Booker T was an institution just like a St. Aug in the community, but it wasn't as publicized as a St. Aug was. I mean, they was putting out heavy hitters from Booker T in all phases of life, whether it be politician, barber, salesman, mechanic, all that stuff. But you don't have that now. And religion, whether you we Christians, but whether you Catholic or Baptist, both of those beliefs have failed people, period. Not just black people, period. And education, I mean, you have the Orleans Public, y'all just talked about how corrupt it was versus the Charter experiment now. So it's real, it's a lot more problems that we've mentioned, but the biggest problem that I see to ride along with that is two things. One, the mental health of our people is a great area of opportunity. And to be honest with you, you have to agree that something is wrong with the way you're living in order to change it. And when you try to address someone saying, hey, there's something better. I mean, there's an old adage, when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. If you're not even trying to learn, or if you don't even recognize that something is wrong, then it's a waste of time, and so much time gets wasted. The other thing is that, and well, that was the two, the mental health and the fact that youngsters, even if you put things in place, even if you try to reach them, they have to want to learn. I mean, the only person that I was willing to learn from, aside from people that I respected, was my band director, people I looked up to, my parents, and so forth and so on. Somebody else off the street, even if they meant me all the good in the world, they had to prove themselves. And if I didn't like what I saw from them, I wasn't even trying to listen to them. And I'm a professional, y'all professionals, and we're on here talking about how bad it is now. So imagine somebody like the 12-year-olds, and brother, I don't know your name, Band Jesus. I hope you never put in a position where you gotta smoke a 12-year-old, because that would be a tragedy, a tragedy. But and that's all I want to say, bro. I enjoy the platform y'all have. I enjoy
Hey, let me build off of what you said real quick, if y'all don't mind. You said something
Wait,
about.
I'm sorry, brother Will. Before you go, we coming to the close of the show, so I want everybody, you three brothers, please give y'all closing remarks. So I was just gonna say, please take a second to say what you want the people to know in closing.
Okay, brother, SU95, right?
Boy. I'm
1,000% in agreement with you when it comes to the mental. And I'm not gonna go too deep in it. If somebody want to talk to me about that off air, then we'll go deeper into it. But when you're dealing with the mental, you're dealing with the mind, right? And when you're dealing with the mind, you're dealing with spirit. Okay. And the deeper you get into that, and that's a whole nother understanding. And that's what I mean about religion. Okay, when you dealing with the mind, if you have another entity controlling your mind, it's going to be hard to do anything. If you can get the mind to understand its most purest state, that's when you can get somebody to listen to you. Okay, I'm trying to use choice words because you know I know too many people on here probably don't know me like that, but you know, the mind is the beginning of all things. Okay, and if we believe how we believe in like my man went off on me about religion, right? Hey, you know, um, in order for us to move forward, the mind has to be on one accord. And how do you get people's minds on one accord? I'll say this real quick. At one time, the black man and woman was called the God people. Okay, this is something we can all research. All right, so I'll just leave it at that. One accord, the same mind, the God mind. At the end of the day, so that's pretty much what it is, fam.
Love you, brother Will. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, love
Dustin, you
y'all
want to say
too, man.
anything in
I'm gonna get
closing?
on off there.
Yeah, to close out, man, it was a good live, bro. I'm just saying, as far as like this crime with these young people in New Orleans, a change, it needs to happen, and I'm more so along the lines of like, instead of everybody complaining about it, like let's actually try to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on here can affect some type of youth in the city in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just more let's stop being reactive and let's be proactive. You know what I'm saying? But it was a great live, you know, and thank y'all for having me, man. I'm gone.
Hey, bro, can I comment before you give out?
Appreciate you, man.
I want to comment. And maybe we need to have a show about this because I hear a lot of people talk about the charter school system, but I also just heard Matt said that before Katrina, they stole a lot of money. All these parent school boards stole. That's what you said, right, Matt? Stole a lot of money from our era of kids, right?
Yes, you would never have thought they had as many resources as they had with as poor conditions as our school was in. That's what I'm saying.
I think we should have a show on the charter school system. I'm going to really tell y'all my thoughts on it when we have this show because it's so many things that schools in like especially the schools around the city or the state is against, especially when it's come out of making these letter grades. I think these letter grade things has a lot to do with some of the structure of schools. And I'm gonna just leave it like that, you know, on a charter school system thing. And I really want to have a maybe once a month we could just talk about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I really would love to have a show on that. I think, but in closing for me, man, I just got some news that I'm not gonna share nothing like that, but I just got some news dealing with what we were just talking about. And you know, some of these kids coming from good families doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like it just makes me as a band director just keep doing what I'm doing. And I feel as though that every kid, if it was up to me, every kid would have to participate in extracurricular activity. Every kid in the city of New Orleans, if it was up to me, would have to, especially if you are, I don't want to say bad, but if you have some trouble in your life at an early age, you should be involved in some extracurricular activity. It should be mandated by the state, mandated by the city that you have to be involved in a football team, a basketball team, something that you can, the band, something, color guard, something. That's why we have all this stuff, because for those reasons. So it would be mandatory that you would have to participate in those extracurricular activities, man. I feel as though this was a good show. Like one thing I like about Bergen and one thing I like about Matt, we may not agree on a lot of different things, but we have our understanding on a lot of different things is similar. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to keep fighting the fight. And I feel as though, you know, Berger, you are, and I don't, you know, we don't never tell you, but Berger, you're a hell of a father. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, no matter what you go through, at the end of the day, I know that you will do what the hell you got to do for your children. Matt, you're a hell of a father. You bring your children through the trenches of school and everything, had a plan set up for them and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been, by me having to be home more, I've been with my children a little more. It's making me understand them a little more. So we do have men that's out here that's doing that. Now, the thing is, I'm open to helping anybody child. The thing is, are you receptive to allow me to help you? And I'll leave it like that.
Before we get off, I want to say, like, I've saw religion and church come up a lot of times. And I want to be first to say, like, and I don't say this to offend nobody, but the word of God never changes. And the reason why a lot of stuff goes on in the world is because more people have drawn away from God and the real word, because it convicts most people. And the easy thing for them to say is to point the finger at God and blame the church, because most of the word, it never changes. The word is blunt. And if you're a person that's not living right, you definitely stray away from church. And I'm dealing with a lot of these kids, and so is Johnny. So I know what's going on. And I have a first view of it and what's going on. And everybody won't be saved. The scary part. You know what I'm saying? Every kid, you're not going to save every kid. How much you talk to them, no matter how much you preach to them. If I never give y'all any advice that y'all ever follow, man, please see, judgment is coming. I know I sound like a holy roller, but I'm just letting y'all know everything that's happening right now is not for no reason. I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. If you don't know God, if you don't have a personal relationship with God, I suggest you get one. I'm not saying you have to go to church every Sunday. I'm not saying you have to get baptized. I'm saying establish you a personal relationship with God. Because at the end of the day, what's going on in this world is all biblical. And that's the worst part. All of it is biblical. And you don't know that if you don't know God. So you're looking at it through a worldly lens. Most people look at what's going on through a worldly lens. But when you got the lens of God, you know more than what's really going on. That's all I want to see. I enjoyed the show today. Love everybody. That's all I'm saying.
The one thing you got to know it for yourself. You got to know it for yourself. You can't go off of what you think a man is doing or what a man has have done. You got to know it for yourself. Thank you. Go ahead, bro.
Okay.
My bad, man.
Okay. In my closing, I want to say I really appreciate this show and any show we do like this. I appreciate ultimately the fact that nobody got into it and nobody got super emotional. I think one thing that we got to realize as people, especially as Black people, is, man, we all want the same things. We might have different ways that we feel like we should get there, but at the end of the day, man, because I have a difference in opinion from you, don't mean I hate you or you not my brother. We all basically want the same things. And honestly, all of us got some of the answer. Like, part of the answer, we all got some of the answer, man. We just gotta pool some of the answers together. We gotta pool our ideas. People, we gotta be willing to get together. Somebody gotta follow. Somebody gotta lead. You know, some people are thinkers. Some people are doers. You know, some of us have financial resources. Some of us have amazing ideas. But you know, at the end of the day, man, we all want the same thing. So my prayer is that we can get more of this, more conversations like this going, where we can passionately but respectfully disagree with each other, and then ultimately leave and we still love each other. That's one thing I can say about this show, is that I knew these brothers in passing, but as often as we disagree, we all love each other, and these is all my brothers. So anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. We love y'all. We care about y'all. It's all good. All love. Crucial Conflict till the wheels fall off this thing.
First show 2021.